Hi, it's Dawn from Ninja Bunny Crochet. Today I have for us to do these cute little indoor snowballs. Now you can use these for an indoor snowball fight, or you can just use them to decorate with, or you can use them for a cat toy, or if you have a dog that is gentle and doesn't chew them up, they can also be used as a dog toy. If you want to do them in different colors, you can do them in different colors too. But I made them as an indoor snowball fight and put them in a nylon bag, put a cute little card on them like you saw in the thumbnail, and used them on my craft table to sell them as just a little novelty gift as an indoor snowball fight. These are soft and squishy, so they don't hurt, but you would want to make sure that you do watch out and when your children are playing with these, just in case they do whip them around your house. They will knock over stuff like a figurines or vase, pictures. They can knock things over and stuff might get broken. So let's bring down the camera and I'll talk about the yarn and hook and anything else you might need to make these cute little indoor snowballs. The yarn I used to make the snowballs is called Big Twist Cuddle yarn. This is exactly like Bernat blanket yarn. This is a Joann's brand yarn. It comes in a 220 yard ball, 10.5 ounces, 201 meters, 300 grams. It is a bulky 6 yarn, 100% polyester. Really nice yarn. You'll need approximately 75 to 100 yards of this yarn to make one ball. I made about 6 of the balls to fit in one of the bags that I have. These are the bags that I got for I got these on Amazon. You should be able to fit about 6 of the snowballs in one of these bags. If you wanted to make your balls a little bit larger, you can just pop up a hook size and you wouldn't be able to fit quite as many snowballs in one bag. The hook size I used is a 7mm crochet hook. Today I'll be using my Clover and More hook. You will need a pair of scissors, yarn needle, and you're going to want a stitch marker. You don't have to use one of these locking stitch markers. You can use just a piece of yarn in a different color. And you're going to need some fiber fill, some polyfill. So once you have all of your supplies, let's get started. Before I jump into today's tutorial, if you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that little icon down in the corner there. That'll automatically subscribe you to my channel. And while you're down there, go ahead and ring that bell. That'll notify you whenever I upload a new video. And if you like content like this, please give it a thumbs up. That lets YouTube know that you like my videos. It also helps me judge what type of content you like to see on my channel. So to start the snowballs, we're going to start with a slip knot on our hook and a chain of 2. So 1, 2. Make sure you keep your stitches nice and loose. You can use a magic ring for this, but I find with this chenille yarn, magic rings can be a little bit tricky, and when you go to pull the ring close, sometimes the yarn can snap. So it's really up to you if you like to use the magic ring or not. I prefer not to with this type of yarn, but it's really up to you. So we're going to put all of our stitches for round 1 right into that second chain from hook. We're going to be using single crochet, so we're going to put 6 single crochets into that second chain from hook. I'm going to go ahead and grab a stitch marker and mark that first stitch as our first stitch of the round, because we're going to be working in continuous rounds. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now if you do find you have a little bit of a big hole in there, you can grab that tail and cinch it down a little bit and it'll make that hole smaller. For round 2, we're going to put 2 single crochets into each stitch. So we're going to take that stitch marker out, pop our hook in there, do our first stitch. Now this yarn can be a little bit difficult to actually see your stitches, so it's more like feeling for the stitches. So that's one, and we're going to go right back into that same stitch and put a second one. And we're going to find our next stitch, which is right here. Just got to get our hook in there. So that's 2. And we're going to continue just putting 2 stitches into each stitch all the way around until you hit your stitch marker. I'll meet back up with you at the end of the round. At the end of round 2, and we're going to take our stitch marker out to start round 3. And we're going to go ahead and pop the hook right in there. I'm going to put 1 single crochet, replace the stitch marker, and in the next stitch we're going to put 2 single crochets. So 1, 2, next stitch 1 single crochet, next stitch 2 single crochets. Next stitch 1 single crochet, and then next stitch 2 single crochets, and that's your repeat all the way around. I'm going to get that too loose. So you're going to do 2 singles, excuse me, 1 single, 2 singles, 1 single, 2 singles, 1 single, 2 singles. And I'll meet back up with you at the end of the round. We're at the end of round 3. We have 18 single crochets. We're going to go ahead and take our stitch marker out. And in that first stitch, put 1 single crochet. I'm going to go ahead and replace the stitch marker again. And we're going to put 1 single crochet in the next stitch, and 2 single crochets in the next. One single crochet in the next, 1 single crochet in the next, and 2 single crochets in the next. And that's our repeat all the way around. So it's going to go 1 single, 1 single, 2 singles, 1 single, 1 single, 2 singles. So please repeat that all the way around, and I'll meet back up with you at the end of the round. We're at the end of round 4. We now have 24 single crochets. For rounds 5 through 7, we're just going to put 1 single crochet into each stitch. Remember to always mark your first stitch with your stitch marker, and just put 1 single crochet into each stitch. Your stitch counts will remain the same, so it'll be 24 single crochets, and you can do that for round 5, 6, and 7. And I'll meet back up with you at the end of round 7. I'm at the end of round 7, still have 24 single crochet. Now don't worry if your snowball starts looking like it's pointed on the bottom. Just spread it out and it'll round out. It'll also become much rounder when you start to stuff it. So for round 8, we are going to start decreasing. So pop out your stitch marker, and we're going to place 1 single crochet into that first stitch. Replace the stitch marker. And we're going to single crochet into the next stitch. Then we're going to single crochet 2 together. How we do that is you insert your hook into the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, insert into the next stitch, pull up a loop. You'll have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops. And that's a single 2 together. Just grab a little more yarn out here. going to single the next 2 stitches. So 1, 2, and then we're going to do that single crochet 2 together. Insert into the stitch, pull up a loop, insert into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all 3. Again, repeat that again. Single 1, 2, and single 2 together. You're going to repeat that pattern all the way around, and I'll meet back up with you at the end of the round. We're at the end of round 8. We now have 18 stitches. To start round 9, we're going to take out our stitch marker, and we're going to single in that next stitch, replace the stitch marker, and we're going to single 2 together in the next. So bring up a loop, bring up a loop, pull through all 3. Single in the next stitch, single 2 together at the next, so bring up a loop, bring up a loop, and that's our repeat pattern. Single in the next stitch, and single 2 together next. So continue that all the way around, and I'll meet back up with you at the end of the round. We're at the end of round 9. We now have 12 stitches, and we're going to just pull up a loop, and we're going to start stuffing our snowball. So take our polyfill and just stuff it in there. You don't want to make it too hard, but you want to make it still firm enough to keep shape. Just put a little more in there. And we're just a little bit sticking up. And there we go. Now we got a nice shape to our snowball. Not too hard, not too soft. So I'm going to put our hook back in. And we can take out our stitch marker. And now we're going to single 2 together. And we're going to do that 6 times. Now you can put your stitch marker back in if you want, or you can just count. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, we got 2 more, 5, and now we're going to do that one more time. 6, and that leaves us 6 stitches. And then we're going to go ahead and slip stitch to that next stitch so we can fasten off. Leave a little bit of a tail. And then we just have to get our yarn needle and thread up our yarn needle, and we're going to sew close the top. Just go in and out. You can just pull that shut and go across a couple times. however many times you want to go across, just to make sure that it's closed. And I like to tie a little knot just to make sure that nothing is going to come loose, especially since there's probably going to be kids playing with us. So I want to make sure we got a nice secure knot. And then we're going to bring our tail inside to the inside of the snowball. Just push it in anywhere. Fluff up our snowball so we have it nice and round. And we can just snip off that tail and it'll pull inside, round it up. And we have our nice little snowball. Now you should be able to fit about 6 of these snowballs into the bag. Now let me just pull the camera back here. And here's the little net bag. This is an 8x12 bag, and you should be able to fit about 6 of these into the bag. And you put them side by side, and you should be able to fit about 6 of them in there. And then you put a little tag on it saying, Indoor Snowball Fight, and you can put these on your craft table, or you can just give them as a gift, or you can just put them in a little basket and give them to your kids. So thanks for watching and happy crocheting. Bye bye.